15 years ago, this boy was unwanted by his biological parents and was placed in an orphanage shortly after his birth. But fate gave him a chance. Sandra Bullock and Jesse James, one of Hollywood's richest and most famous couples at the time, adopted Louis. Since then, his life has completely changed. So what is the story behind this fortunate boy? How has his life turned out? And what does he look like now? The Thomas Stories channel will tell you about this. Sandra Bullock, affectionately known as America's sweetheart, became one of Hollywood's most beloved actresses thanks to her relatable charm, wit, and sincerity. From the moment she starred in Speed alongside Keanu Reeves, she cemented her place as an action star with a winning smile, her comedic brilliance and miscongeniality, and heartfelt performance in The Blind Side, which earned her an Academy Award for Best Actress, proved her versatility as an actress. Throughout her career, Sandra has been recognized time and again. She won a Golden Globe, an Oscar, and the Screen Actors Guild Award. She's been named one of People magazine's 50 most beautiful people in the world 3 times and earned her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But Sandra isn't just a Hollywood icon, she's a savvy businesswoman and philanthropist. Her box office hits, including Gravity, The Proposal, and The Heat, have contributed to her staggering net worth of over $250 million. While her professional life was soaring, Sandra took a leap in her personal life. On July 16, 2005, she married Jesse James, a motorcycle customizer and TV personality known for his show Monster Garage. The intimate ceremony took place at a picturesque ranch near Santa Barbara, California, surrounded by family and close friends. Sandra Bullock seemed to have it all: fame, success, and a family. Yet, despite everything, something essential was missing. Sandra had always dreamed of becoming a mother, but as she grew older, the idea of having a child of her own felt increasingly unlikely. It wasn't something she openly talked about, but anyone could see it. The longing to be a mom was there. So, in 2006, she and her husband made a life-changing decision: they would adopt. The journey wasn't quick. The adoption process took years, with the couple beginning in 2007. But in January 2010, at 45, Sandra's dream finally came true. She welcomed a tiny 3.5-month-old boy named Louis into her world. Louis had spent his early months in an orphanage, waiting for a family to call his own. His parents had abandoned him, and he had been living in an orphanage, unsure of what the future would hold. But when Sandra stepped into his life, everything changed. The moment they met, it was like they had always been together. Sandra couldn't hold back the joy when she described the bond. "He's just perfect. I can't even describe him any other way. It's like he's always been a part of our lives," she told People. And just like that, Sandra knew that her family was finally complete. But as Sandra settled into her new life as a mom, her life took an unexpected, painful turn. Sandra found herself in the middle of a very public scandal. Shocking accusations about her husband Jesse James surfaced. Multiple women came forward, claiming they had affairs with him while they were married. In the midst of the media frenzy, Sandra's top priority was clear: protecting Louis. So much had happened. How do you process grief and not hurt your child in the process? She later reflected. With a newborn in her arms, Sandra made a vow to herself not to let the pain of her personal life touch Louis. It's a newborn. They take on everything you're feeling, so my obligation was to him and not tainting the first year of his life with my grief. Despite the turmoil, Sandra stayed focused on being the mother Louis needed. In March 2010, Sandra and Jesse separated. The divorce was finalized by June, and Sandra found herself raising Louis on her own. Louis grew up joyful, curious, and bright, and Sandra beamed with pride. She loved his wonder at the world, his big heart, and his simple gestures, like hugging her and saying, "I love you, Mama." Those moments reminded her that adopting him was the best decision she'd ever made. But Louis isn't just sweet and funny. He's also super sensitive, according to Sandra, and she says that sensitivity is paired with wisdom beyond his years. He's like Shaky Green, a Jewish Catskills comic, Sandra joked to in style in 2018. He's wise and kind. I saw that when they handed him to me. There was a spiritual bigness to him. I was like, I hope I don't F that up. Sandra has always been in awe of the little things Louis says and does. He has this natural ability to understand the deeper things in life, even at a young age. It's no surprise then that his wisdom extends to advice about Sandra's career. She trusts his opinion completely. She once shared a story on Jimmy Kimmel Live about the time she was considering a film role, and Louis told her not to take the job. Sandra was hesitant, but decided to listen to him. I was kind of not in the place that Louis felt I should be. And he was actually right, she admitted. When the film came out, the reception was unfortunate, and Sandra realized Louis had been spot on with his advice. While Sandra and Louis' bond grew stronger each day in 2015, Sandra's life took another beautiful turn. She found love again with photographer Brian Randall. Their relationship grew quietly away from the spotlight, and soon Brian became an important part of their lives. He wasn't just her partner, he became a steady, caring father figure for Louis. Over time, Brian also stepped into a similar role for Sandra's adopted daughter, Layla. Speaking of Layla, 2015 was a pivotal year for Sandra's family as she adopted Layla, a young girl who had been living in foster care. Sandra had already been preparing herself to be the best mom possible. Before adopting Layla, she took classes on trauma and how it affects children, wanting to better understand how to support her kids emotionally. From the moment Louis and Layla met, there was an undeniable bond between them. Louis, who had once been alone, knew what it felt like to need someone, and when Layla entered their family, he took it upon himself to be her protector. It didn't take long for him to step into the role of big brother, always looking out for her, making sure she felt safe and loved. Today, Louis is 15 and Layla is 13. As they've grown older, they've embraced their private lives, staying out of the public spotlight. Louis, once the shy, thoughtful boy, is now a teenager with a passion for sports and a growing interest in technology, while Layla, with her kind heart, excels in her studies and loves to spend time with animals. Both children continue to thrive, but their lives are kept mostly under wraps, far from the media's gaze. Their mom Sandra has made it clear that her family comes first. She stepped back from the film industry, prioritizing her children's well-being over anything else. Sandra's focus now is on raising her children in a stable, loving environment, away from the constant attention of Hollywood. This story proves that the real parent is the one who gave love to the child, not the one who only gave birth. Do you agree with this statement? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. See you in the next video.